Welcome to Lead Up for Women Speak Up to Lead Up. I'm your host, Colleen Biggs. I have two beautiful guests today on our show. Kat, the reason why I want to talk to you first is you had just created an article for our magazine that's going to be published on the 13th of this month. It's a beautiful article about how burlesque can positively impact every area of your life. And I would love for you to share why burlesque, because you have a special name that you go by and a character that you have for burlesque. So please introduce us to her and also introduce us to you and why you teach burlesque and how you got here.
My burlesque name is Vixen DeVille.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say you're not creating your character, you're excavating your character. And that it's not that I'm unhappy with myself or that I'm not good enough or I need to be someone else. It's that I am Vixen DeVille. That's the character, the essence that lives in me. But we've all put on layers to survive in the world that we live in. We've had to behave a certain way at school, or behave a certain way with our grandparents, or behave a certain way at work, behave a certain way with our children. And so these essences, these ways that we naturally want to be, we sort of quash them down for the society. And so I'm peeling back those layers of, I have to censor myself with this group of people and I have to behave this way. And so Vixen DeVille is the unfiltered, heightened version of myself. And I'm peeling back layers to reveal Vixen. I'm not using Vixen as a mask to hide who I am underneath. And that's what I love about burlesque specifically, is that people will sort of think burlesque is synonymous with pole dancing or just like a stripper. And yes, there's so many good things about pole dancing and getting in touch with your body and strengthening your body and connecting to your movement. But burlesque, I feel it takes it one step further. You're creating this 3 to 4 minute piece of performance art that is 100% you. And you're saying, I'm going to wear these types of clothing. I'm going to use this sort of music. I'm going to create this kind of storyline. And if that's just you being expensive, covered in feathers, walking down a staircase, that's what you do. And then you reveal this is how expensive and wonderful I am. If your storyline is, I'm tied up in chains because someone's made me feel like that, and during my act I release myself from my chains, and then I celebrate myself on stage because of the freedom I've just found. Or I'm a mermaid going from being only able to swim underwater, and now I strip off my my fins, and I have legs, and now I can walk. Your stories that you create on stage are your self-expression, and I'm giving you a space. Well, I'm not giving you a space. Burlesque is giving you the stage where you have those 3-4 minutes to fully express all the parts of you, the sexy parts, the scary parts, the maybe weird sense of humor parts. And it's so freeing and so wonderful. And everybody is celebrating you in those 3 minutes. And you come off feeling like purged and then because you're so used to performing like that for those 3-4 minutes, it filters into the rest of your life. So I would come on stage, and as Vixen DeVille, I maybe would say something a bit more cutting or a bit bitchy or a bit weird sense of humor that I think people wouldn't quite get. But I would do that on stage and it would be accepted and celebrated. And then when I was in my everyday life, I would accidentally behave that way as well because I'm so used to doing it. And I'm like, I can say these things and do this stuff in my everyday life. The world won't collapse and fall apart. And so I've now become so much more myself because I've been allowing myself to do it in the safe space that is the burlesque stage. And then the more you do it, it's just a habit. You habitually become the real you.
I love that because I feel, I feel like we all have a warrior inside of us, right? So some people will name that avatar or, and then in the days that maybe you're not feeling as strong, that warrior steps forward and that becomes the one that can be the strong one. And, what does that warrior look like? What is that warrior story?
Everyone has a different warrior. I talk about the femme fatale character and you might go, okay, Jessica Rabbit, but that's not everyone's femme fatale. I'm like, is your femme fatale wearing a long velvet dress? Are they wearing a detective's coat? Are they wearing Tomb Raider like holster and gun? Are they wearing a PVC catsuit? Like your femme fatale is your femme fatale. Right. And I went to this event once. I was like, I'm out of my depth. Why am I even here? And I was at the door and I was like, I'm Vixen fucking DeVille. That's who's fucking here. And I strode on in. I was like, I'm here.
I think you bring up a solid point that a lot of women need to hear this message from you today. And that solid point is you're not mimicking to be somebody you're not, right? You still need to be you. We're not saying, hey, because you're not enough, you need to now create a character and be somebody else. We're saying dig deep, tap into your power, find out who the warrior is inside that for some reason you've decided to pack away.
Because the person that you are now that maybe you're dissatisfied with,
yeah,
is a combination of labels that so many other people have given you. And so you're the geeky one at school, you're the overweight one at school, you're the stupid one, you're the failure. They're not things that you are. They're labels other people have given you. Right. And so you might go underneath, you know what, I'm not a failure, I'm I'm successful, and I'm fun loving, and I'm whatever it is that you are. You know what you are inside. And it's just that this outside creation started from like 5 years old when you're in infant school, and people start giving you labels, and so you start behaving to those labels. And now you have labels of like, I'm the CEO of a company, or I'm the parent of 2 children, or I'm or I'm a widow, I'm an ex-con, whatever these they're things.
It's an identity,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You identify, that's who you become. What is your technique of how you are able to take someone who walks in and it's very obvious that they have these several layers, they're kind of a little tucked away, but they wouldn't have walked in the door or signed up for your workshop if they weren't ready to dig for a little bit more? How do you then, what is your technique of how you help them bring that character and that person of that deep-seated warrior out?
Yeah. So first of all, I work with, where are we at now? Like, how comfortable do you feel being in the center of a room, having people looking at you, and you're not dancing or doing a routine? How confident you feel being looked at and drawing attention to yourself. So I get them to be in the center of a room and actually connect with somebody in the circle and say, look at my ankle, look at my knee, look at my shoulder, look, and just to point at parts of their body and say to look at me. And so that they already feel, okay, I actually feel comfortable being in the center of a room, or I feel terrible being in the center of a room. I cannot even be looked, because I can't start unearthing stuff unless I know where your comfort level is at. And so during that little sequence, some people become, it already starts coming out. And I say, you have to say, look at my. You can't say, can you see my? What do you think of my? We're not asking questions. We're not asking for validation. You're telling that person, look at mine. And you're not saying, oh, look at my shoulder. Do you like scars on shoulders? No, you say, I know. Look at my shoulder. I know that you like scars on shoulders. I know this about you. I know that you're watching. I know that you're looking. And to confidently say that, and to also say it's mine. It's my elbow. It's my shoulder. It's my boobs. It's all of my. This belongs to me, and I'm telling you, look at it. And it's such a weird mindset, because so many people go, it's a shoulder. No, whose shoulder is it? It's your shoulder. It's different to everybody else's shoulder. No one has seen this shoulder in the history of humanity. And they go, oh, are you looking at my shoulder? No, you are looking at my shoulder. I want you to look at it, and you take control of that situation. So as people do that, it comes down, some people become playful. Hey, look at my shoulder. Look at it. Oh, you look, oh yeah. And then people go like, look at my shoulder, look at my shoulder. Like, and they become really powerful.
So they bring that masculine energy, starts pulling. Yeah.
So great. And so you see in that exercise, everyone's been given the same thing to do. And I tell them, don't copy how I do it. Don't do it how you think you should do it. Just do it as you. You're just letting yourself do it. And then all these characters start coming out. And so then we do like a walking exercise. So I get people to walk around the space and to just connect to how they walk right now. Don't change anything. Just note how you're walking. Are you wide stance, cross stance? Are your hands crossed in front of you? Are your shoulders up? And really go like feet upwards, what every single part of your body is doing. And then I play music for different characters. I have a femme fatale piece of music. I have like a cutesy cheesecake piece of music. And I just get them to move to that piece of music and explore the space above you, explore the space, like you're just moving. You're not even walking, you're just moving to this piece of music, adding in what I call some self-love, where you're actually connecting with your own body. And I talk through those characters as they're walking to the music. And I say to really focus on one thing that's different about this walk and make it 10 times bigger. Like you're drunk walking, like just make this stupid, like get out of your, this should be this way zone. And like open the box to how am I'm just going to move like this. And I talk to them like, what are you wearing? Where have you just been? Have you just blown up a building and you're walking away from the flames? Are you walking into a courtroom to bust open a case? Are you walking out to onto a stage to sing to your adoring fans? Are you coming home to kill your ex-lover? I have to say these things that are so out there in different spectrums because I'm giving them permission to have those thoughts. Because if someone's always been like, you know, I have a real dominatrix even vibe inside me, and I have these weird fetishes that maybe are looked down on, and I can't speak them out because people will think less. But if I say them out in the room, I can throw those out and they can go, oh, well, she said it. It's okay then. I can claim that for myself. And so then after we do all the movement, I throw in props and costume. And so I give them a whip and a gun and a knife and a holster and a feather fan and a boa. And I explore the different sides of that character. And I say, there's no rules. You don't have to go, well, I've got a gun, so I can't have the feather fan at the same time. Why not? You have both those elements in your character. And it really pulls them away from their everyday life. Because if you have a kid and you have them throwing up on you every day, you never wear anything expensive, you know? And if you work in an office and you're in a business suit, you're constantly restricted in your movement. Yeah. So I'm gradually during this session pulling them away from their habits and their normalities. And I give them a long skirt or long flowing skirt or something, or a hat. And they, at the end, they're a whole different person. And either they're in tears because they just didn't realize this lived in them, or they're like, this is the most me, this is who I knew I was. Like, and I'm allowed to be this person. So what amazing. A shock. And at the end of the session, these people who at the beginning didn't even want to stand in a circle and be like, look at my finger. They do at the end, everybody does their own little like 20-second, 30-second routine. And they're just living on stage and like, here I am in all of my glory and playing with people and being fun. And I say to them, this session isn't just for you to be like, no, I'm a burlesque performer. I want you to walk out of that door like you're walking out into the burlesque stage and walk into every room, every door. If you never come back to me ever again, take this session where I've said, you are allowed to be you. Give yourself that permission to be you and walk out that door with all the confidence and give that you as a gift to the world. And that's how I kind of end.
Patty, can you see now why I have legit like begged her? I need you to come to one of my events.
It's all about what we've talked about, Colleen, dropping the veil, like really just being yourself authentically in the world and really owning that. It's beautiful, really.
It's freeing for you to be able to be that way again. Society, culture, there's a lot of judgment on, like you said, how you feel and what you feel is acceptable, and you give them this non-judgmental space that you reserve for them to just have the permission to be anything they want to be and pull out anything inside of them at that moment. And I love what you're doing. How can someone work with you, Kat, if they wanted to sign up for a workshop? Is this something you do online? Do you do steps online? Explain to us how someone can work.
So I've had a student in Poland and Sweden and Australia. So I do online stuff. I have a book called Vixens Unleashed, and it has the stories of 12 women who've gone through this training and where they started, how they found me, and where they ended up. And they're all in the book as well. So if you're like, I'm not really sure, it's scary, get the book and read how this has affected other women, because it's just phenomenal. And then proceeds for the book go towards, I have a scholarship as well for people who can't afford the full training.
How do they find that Vixens Unleashed book?
Yeah, go to the website vixendeville.com.
Spell that for me. Yeah,
VIXENDEVILLE.com.
Patty's writing as fast as she can. Look at
it. There's a button for classes and there's a button for online classes. Okay. So if you're in LA, hit classes, because I'm in LA.
Patty's signing up.
I'm in LA. Done.
You're in LA. The best way if you're in LA is to just come to an intro class. I run them every month. And then if you're online, there's a whole there's like small little chunks if you want to just test it out, dip your toe into the world of burlesque, or if you want to do the full on, I'm ready for the whole transformation. There's Permission to Play, which is the full act development full course.
So do you perform anywhere, or do you just do the actual?
Yeah, I'm performing tonight in Vaz as well. So I perform, I'm at Trip in Santa Monica tonight, at Beetle House LA. I do Freak Show and Sideshow and Fire and Burlesque.
That's so amazing.
Then there's Muddle and Twist, which is in North Hollywood. And I have my solo show, Vixen DeVille Revealed, which I'm taking a break from right now. I was touring it last year and it's being shot for a TV special. So I'm now focusing on post-production for that rather than...
Last but not least, I want to celebrate you because I didn't even mention that you're the winner of the Best International Show, winner of the Soaring Solo Artist, winner of the Encore Producers Award, nominated Best of Cabaret and Variety, Best One-Person Performance, Best Out of Town Show, Best Solo Performance. This is insane. You are amazing at what you've been able to accomplish, and you're doing all of it to lift other people, to lift to them, to help them bring their warriors out. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you're doing. It's incredible.
Can I just add, on top of all of these awards and this amazing work that you're doing, you're so approachable, and I can see why your students are having breakthroughs and really getting in touch with their inner self.
I feel like sometimes people will see burlesque classes and they're like, oh no, because it's gonna, especially dance classes scare me. And I just feel like anytime someone comes up to me and they're like, I'm not sure if I should do this class, I'm like, no, babes, you need to. Like you're gonna be good.
So amazing.
Like, I got you.
I've been interviewing Best U Expo attendees and speakers and exhibitors. There are 14,000 people that they're expecting. They have different rooms. I'm in the Women Empowerment room. Kat, you're going to be there. Which stage are you speaking on?
Women's Empowerment at 11:30 on the Saturday.
Perfect.
And I'm doing like a little workshop-y thing in the Inspiration Zone at 2:30 on the Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you. 3 more reasons why you should get yourself over to LA to come to the Best U Expo is to see Kat or Suzanne or myself or all 3 of us. Not one of us are going on at the exact same time as another. So this is a great opportunity for you to, I teach on showing up. You know, that's my thing. Just show up as you, how you can tap into your power, how you can show up as you authentically every day. And Kat, you're really pulling out that warrior and, you know, bringing that warrior to the forefront. And I think it's so important that we identify and accept and love ourselves, because that's how we are going to be able to lift and accept and love others after we've accepted ourselves.